Hello everyone, my name is Nguyen Dao Tuan Anh, and this is my Lab 0 submission for Win 700 Windows Active Directory service. In this lab, I have built a complete Active Directory infrastructure that will serve as the foundation for all future labs in this course. Today, I will demonstrate a functioning domain environment consisting of one domain controller and three member servers, all rapidly configure and communicate on an isolated network segment. Let me walk you through what I have created. Here's in my 4 VM that I rated, um, and all of them connected via custom lane segment. I have rated called Win 700, which isolated them in their own private network environment. Let me start by showing you the domain controller. Notice, even at the login screen, we can see this server is part of my Seneca ID domain. This is our net BIOS name derived from our full qualified domain name. This is login. This is on local server dashboard. As you can see, this is my computer name, RWDC-174. This follow name convention required by the lab, where 174 is my assigned range from Blackboard. Here's my IP number that's assigned for Blackboard. The second one is domain field, so my Seneca ID, senecaid.com. This confirms this server is not just a member of domain, but it's a domain controller hosting the domain. Look at the network. Looking at the network configuration, you'll see this domain controller is assigned a static IP address 192.168.174.50 with a subnet mask 255.255.255.0. The DNS server is pointing to itself because the domain controller is also running the DNS service, which is essential for Active Directory resolution. Let me show you the directory. Also, I have access to all the Active Directory management console, which were installed when I remote the server to a domain controller. Let me expand my senecaid.com. Beneath it is the default organization unit and container created during the domain controller remotion. Let me click on in the domain controller organization unit, you can see RWDC-174 confirming this server is registered as a domain controller in Active Directory. Let me click the computer container. In this container, you can see other three VM like storage, server 1, and server 2. There's a three-member server I rated. The percent of this computer account here prove that its server successfully complete the domain choice process. When a computer choose a domain, it authenticates with a domain controller, and domain controller creates this computer object in Active Directory. This is how centralized management works. The domain controller know about every computer in the domain and can apply policies, manage security, and control access from this central point. Let me now show you one of the member server. Here's the storage VM. I can log in with the domain credential, not a local account. In the server manager on storage VM, the configuration show my Seneca ID domain, my computer name, my domain name my Seneca domain name.com. Again, let me show you for virtual machine are connected and communicate with each other using a VM LAN segment called Win 700. We click the network adapter. Here's my LAN segment. Next is server 1. And finally is server 2. To summarize, I successfully configured our WDC-174 as a domain controller for my senegalid.com and joined 3-member server to the domain. Our network connectivity is rapidly configured using VMware LAN segment. And that's everything. Thank you for watching.